Have you ever felt like peace is just beyond your reach? Like if you could just get all the moving pieces of your life to fall into place, your schedule, your family, your finances, your relationships, then you could finally just breathe and relax. I know that feeling well because for much of my life, I've believed the lie that control equals peace. For as long as I can remember, anxiety has been a steady companion in my life, even before I had the words to even name it. I thought if I could manage it by controlling the details, then everything would be good. If I could stay a step ahead, if I could plan well enough, if I could work hard enough, then surely I could avoid the chaos that triggered my anxiety. And so what did I do? I micromanaged situations. I fixated on outcomes. I tried to hold on tight to the people and the circumstances around me. But over time, life made it abundantly clear just how fragile that illusion of control really was. Between unexpected family challenges and health issues and circumstances I never saw coming that just disrupted my plans and exposed the harsh reality of this truth that much of life is outside of my control. And with every situation I couldn't manage, my anxiety, it didn't fade, it only grew. The tighter I gripped, the more peace just seemed to slip through my fingers. And that's because peace isn't something that we can manufacture through control. True peace isn't found in perfectly managed circumstances. It's found in trusting God, trusting in His goodness, in His nearness, in His ability to give us peace even in the midst of difficulties or heartbreak. It's trusting that our current circumstances, as painful as they may be, are not the end of our story. Because God, He is the God who is the one that gives redemption and resurrection. That's why we trust in Him. He meets us in our suffering. He gives us strength to endure it and a promise of a future beyond it. I love how the Apostle Paul puts it. He says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." And he's talking about our trials there. Paul wasn't dismissing the agony of life's hardest moments. He knew suffering firsthand, but instead he was pointing us to the unshakable hope that we have in Jesus, that the pain of today, as real as it is, will one day be eclipsed by the glory and the peace of eternity and of His presence. But here's the million-dollar question. How do we experience that peace right now, right? I believe Isaiah 26:3 points us to the answer. This is what Isaiah says. It says, "You, God, will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you." This verse, it reminds us that God offers perfect peace, not when life is calm, or when we have all the answers or all the circumstances are just perfect. He gives peace when our eyes and our minds are steadfastly fixed on Him. A steadfast mind, it's not one that never feels fear or worry. It's a mind that when fear and worry show up, knows where to turn. It's a mind that chooses, even with trembling hands, to release the illusion of control and cling to the one who holds everything together. And I know firsthand this is easier said than done. In many ways, I feel like the least qualified person to deliver this message, a bit of a hypocrite, because I don't do this well. In fact, I feel like I'm just at the very beginning of this journey to try to figure this out. I still wrestle with anxiety more days than I can care to admit. I still try to control situations most of the time, even without realizing I'm doing it, just because it's so deeply ingrained in me. I still believe the lie that if I could manage everything, I can protect myself from pain. But here's what I'm learning slowly, that again, peace doesn't come from feeling in control. That's an illusion. It comes from knowing that God is present with us even when life feels chaotic. And this is the kind of peace Isaiah talks about, not this surface level calm when life is all smooth, but a deep, abiding peace that remains even in storms we can't stop or predict. And so this week, if anxiety sneaks in, and let's be honest, it probably will, let's practice this together. When we feel ourselves grasping for control, let's pause and turn our gaze back towards God. Not as a quick fix, but as a step towards anchoring ourselves in the one who is more secure than any plan we could ever craft or any outcome we could even hope to control. Let's release our grip together and trust, even when life feels chaotic, that God's got us.